All right, guys. Good looking, beautiful Huddleite people. Got something to talk about today. We're going to talk about why the food industry removes this, quotations, this vital nutrient from almost every single package, product, and box in the grocery store, and why no one's talking about it. It affects you. Let's roll that intro.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My partner's got me laughing with his dancing, singing, and turning and twisting and doing the moves. And that's got me going this morning. How is everybody this morning? My name is Vince Rountree, myself and my co-partner, co-host, Rawlin Vanatta. We together will bring you the health, wellness, and vitality show on Tuesday morning on the Daily Huddle. I'm so glad that you have decided to join us as we talk about the food industry removing this vital nutrient from almost every product in the aisles. You're going to see that 98% of what you see in the grocery store are things that you are better off leaving in the grocery store and not putting in your cart and bringing home. And that's what we're going to talk about. But before we get to that, we have a couple of questions for you. My first question goes to Stan, the man. My brother, how are you this morning? How are you?
I'm really just excited, man. I'm excited about now because I am as I say I am.
You know what? I love hearing that from you, man. You are, as you say, you are excited. You are happy to be here. And we are happy to have you with us on the Daily Huddle. Thank you for that, my brother. Next question goes to Miss Layla Jones. Good morning, Layla Jones. Tell me, what time is it, Miss Layla Jones? What time is it?
The time is now, and I'm so grateful to be here.
That's what I'm talking about. The only time that you can influence is the now. You can't worry about yesterday. You can't change that. You could worry about tomorrow, but it's not here yet. But the now is what you can affect. And we are here. We are here. Well, Rawlin, why don't you go ahead and get us started and tell us a little bit about this ingredient that the food industry removes and what it's doing to us. And why do they take it out? What are we talking about? Talk to me, partner.
100%. So, has anybody ever heard, put on the packages like 15 grams of protein or something like that? Wave at me if you've ever seen packages that says this. Okay. Has anybody ever seen packages that says, with vitamin C or with B12 or with this polyphenol? It's all this with. And then there's one that's more recently coming out. And it's on all kinds of things. And it says, with 3 grams of fiber, with 5 grams of fiber. And fiber, my friends, is the vital nutrient that has been removed from 98% of the grocery store. Now, why is it that they do this? Because that's the real thing. And then we'll get into why it's important that you have it in there. But one of the main reasons why very little people is talking about it is because if you understand this, that almost 100% of all the vitamins, nutrients, minerals, all those things that they say with this and with that and with that, the carrier of all those nutrients, guess what it is? What is it, Vance? What's that word?
Fiber.
Right.
Fiber.
So they have to right? They have to then, they put it on the front of the package, be like, oh, yay, I get this thing, this one tiny little thing, when the fiber carries thousands of them, thousands of different things like that, not just the one thing, but 1,000 different things. But that doesn't answer the question why they had to take it out in the first place. They had to take it out because it doesn't make it shelf stable. Like if they're gonna, and I'm not even bagging on food manufacturers for doing this, because if you're gonna grow something on the halfway on the other side of the planet, and then you got to ship it across the planet, guess what? If it's straight up raw, it's either got to be picked so green that by the time it gets to the grocery store, then it's got 3 days shelf life on it. Or they're going to have to, if they're going to spend millions of dollars growing it and shipping it over, they're going to have to do something to it to make it shelf stable, so that just in case nobody wants those Wheaties today or those Captain Crunches today, then in 6 months they can still sell the same package. So what do they have to do? They have to remove what? What do they have to remove?
They got to take out the fiber, but then you wanted to have some kind of a taste. So they got to add some sugar, because if you add some sugar to it, you got to have some sugar to it to make it taste good. And you may or may not know that there are like 50 different words for sugar. I don't know them all. You don't know them all. You don't know them all. I don't know them all.
We do this all the time. We talk about this all the time. We don't know all the words for sugar.
You don't. I mean, you literally don't, and I don't. But in 98% of what you see in the grocery store, there will be some added sweetener. There will be some added oil, and fiber is taken away. And that's how it can stay on the shelf, which is the reason why 98% of what you see that's packaged and it's nice and pretty boxes and cans. Listen, if you want to eat for your health, everything in the produce section that doesn't have a label, that's your prime. Most of that is what should be in your cart. Now, rice, beans, potatoes, beans come in a package, and look at the ingredients. And you know what you're going to see? Beans. That's right. Beans. If you want black beans and you look at the bag, what's the ingredients you should see? Black beans. You don't see monosodium glutamate. You don't see maltodextrone. You don't see the dyes and the colors and the emulsifiers. They put that stuff in there to make it last. They put it in there for taste. They put it in there for appearance. And your body doesn't know what to do with it.
It's like pouring orange juice into your gasoline tank. Like, nobody thinks that'd be a good idea. Like, does any of y'all think like, oh man, I can make this gasoline more shelf stable by just throwing a little bit of orange juice in it? We'll just do that. We'll just do that from now on, and then start pouring it in a gasoline tank. You're like, what planet are you from? It wouldn't burn, right? Well, we're putting chemicals and things into our body that our body can't burn, right? It has to, in fact, it actually can even create extra fat because your body tries to shield you from those toxins. So it actually surround it in a fat molecule. So if you've been holding on to fat, not being able to release it very well, it could be because your body's protecting you from these things that you've eaten in the past that you don't even know. That's toxins, right? Now, let me go ahead and go to this next thing, and then we'll come back and we'll flesh back around. So what we're going to flesh back around to, because I also said why no one's talking about it. And I'm saying no one's talking about it, but very little people are talking about it. And there's a reason for that, okay? Now, I'm not against all supplements. I'm not all against all kind. I'm not against all. I'm against a lot. But Vince is more against supplements than I am. But here's the deal. It's easy to write a sales presentation. I mean, I'm a marketer, guys. It's easy to write a sales presentation that tells you how bad something is, okay? And then tell you what you have to do to solve it, which is give up the thing you don't want to give up, okay? to give up the thing you don't want to give up. Okay. Oh, I don't want to give up eating the way I'm eating. Oh, you don't have to. You can just take this pill that, by the way, I sell, right? Now, I'm not against salesmen. I'm a salesperson, right? But here's the deal. I sell health. I sell living. I sell marketing stuff. I help a furniture store sell furniture, right? But here's the deal. There's a difference in when you sell something for someone's benefit or for your own benefit. And the thing about supplements are, okay, you could argue that it's better to have it than not. But if you can have something that's 100 times worth more at about 1/10 of the price, why wouldn't you do that? Right? Like there's potassium and vitamins and minerals in a white potato. There's all these different types of polyphenols in apples and oranges and nectarines and plums and tangerines, right? Like there's these crazy vitamins and minerals. All, by the way, hey, we've been talking about fiber this whole time. Vince.
Yeah, man.
Where does fiber come from?
Only exist. Fiber only exists.
Wait, did you say only?
There's only one place it exists. There is zero fiber in meat, zero. Zero fiber in dairy, zero. Zero fiber in eggs, zero. Zero fiber in any animal-based food, zero.
So zero fiber in butter.
Zero fiber in butter.
Zero fiber in cheese.
Zero fiber in cheese, zero. Absolutely zero.
How much fiber is a wild caught Alaskan salmon?
That would be zero. That would be zero.
Zero. Oh, grass-fed beef.
Grass-fed.
Grass-fed.
Yeah.
They've been eating some. Oh, you mean they ate a bunch of fiber, but they ain't got none when you eat them?
That's exactly what I'm saying. They ate it, but you don't get any when you eat the meat. No. Fiber only exists in one place. Go ahead.
So everybody with me. Fiber only exists. Repeat after me. Fiber only exists in where?
Unprocessed plant-based foods. Unprocessed plant-based foods. That's it, Stand the Man. Unprocessed plant. That's it. Apples, oranges, beans, oatmeal, potatoes, lentils, split peas, chickpeas, squash, pumpkins, all unprocessed plant-based foods is where, and that's the reason why 97% of Americans are deficient in fiber. 97%. We have this thing that we think that we need more protein, and this drink has protein, and the candy bars have protein, and the powders, I need protein powder. I need protein. Protein has the best marketing representative on the planet because we all get twice as much as what we need, and we think we need more. You don't need more protein. What you need more of is fiber. And if you want to get fiber, the best place to get fiber is unprocessed plant-based foods. Now, some people think their only source of fiber is Metamucil or gummy bears or something they could buy on the shelf. If you want to add that to your beans and your lentils and your split peas and your chickpeas and your potatoes and your fruits and your vegetables, if you want to add that, okay. But don't let that be your only source. You know why? Because every different plant-based food has a different fiber profile, and all of them are good. So I want you to eat the rainbow. Well, Vince, what do you mean by eat the rainbow? I want you to eat the rainbow, meaning I want you to eat all unprocessed plant-based foods that vary in color. Because things that are red, like tomatoes, like watermelon, like guava, high in lycopene, a special type of fiber that, or polyphenol that fights cancer. Things that are orange, like oranges, like cantaloupe, like squash, high in beta carotene, another type of special cancer fighting. But you want to get, that's why you want to get your fiber in unprocessed plant-based foods. Here's the thing that you that you may or may not know. You know, there are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of nutrients in unprocessed plant-based foods that we haven't come up with names for yet. Oh, we know vitamin A and B is complex, and C, D, E, and we know vitamin K. We know certain minerals. Well, that's what we've discovered. There's tens of thousands of polyphenols that we haven't put names to yet. And while it is true that beta carotene and lycopene are cancer fighters, but is it does it fight cancer in a pill form by itself, or in context of all of those other polyphenols that we haven't named yet? The answer is the latter. It fights it when it's in context. As a matter of fact, when they discovered that beta carotene is a cancer fighter, of course, the drug companies, the first thing they do is they want to separate it out and then put it in a pill form and say, here's what you need in order to fight cancer. So they did that in a test with people that had lung cancer. They gave them this pill form of beta carotene, people that had lung cancer, because they knew that beta carotene was a cancer fighting nutrient. And as they're giving it to people in the middle of the test, they had to stop the test. Why? It was people. It was literally causing death. We think we're smarter than God. If you think that, you got a little problem. You got a problem. We don't know all the nutrients that God put in a plum. We don't know all the nutrients that God put in an apple, but I want all of them. So I'm eating the apple. I'm not gonna just separate out the beta carotene and have that. No, eat the orange, eat the spinach, eat the kale, eat the rice, the black beans, the navy beans, the pinto beans, the red lentils, the green lentils. There are thousands of edible plants, and each one of them has a different fiber profile, and that fiber profile can save your life. What you got for me, partner?
Let me pop in here for a second. So we've talked about this fiber business. Okay, now if you're low in fiber, ladies and gentlemen, there's a few things that you may detect. Because guess what? If a vehicle doesn't get the fuel that it needs, then bad things happen. So since food, calories, vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, all those are the fuel that your body needs, then you might detect a few problems. What are these problems that you might detect? Well, people call them symptoms. And what symptoms really are signs. Signs that, hey, every time you have something on your fork, it's probably not the right thing. So let's name over some fiber deficient symptoms, like some things that people start noticing when they don't have enough fiber in their diet. Vince, do you have any on top of your mind, right off the top of your head?
Well, the very first one that comes to mind is a bout of constipation. Something like 40% of Americans, the bowels don't move every day. Something like that. And the reason why fiber, eating plenty of unprocessed plant-based foods, and by the way, if you have constipation, just try this. Make yourself a giant smoothie, half greens, half fruit, put water in there, throw some bananas in there, blend it up, like 32 ounces worth, and then drink you about 32 ounces of water.
And watch what happens.
And then just go to the bathroom, sit down, and wait for it to start. Or look, eat an entire cantaloupe, which is what I almost every day. Then drink about 20, a bunch of water, 20 ounces of water, 30 ounces of water. Then go sit down in the bathroom and wait for it to happen. Because it happens like clockwork. You know, fiber is not absorbed in the stomach. It's not absorbed in the small intestines. It's not absorbed in the duodenum. It makes it all the way down to the large intestines. It's not absorbed, but it makes to the large intestines, and then it is the food that feeds your healthy gut bacteria.
Oh, wait a minute. We're getting into we're getting. See, but then because of that fiber, so you're telling me, wait a minute, because that good bacteria, it makes short chain fatty acids, right?
Nature's pharmacy.
That means that all of a sudden, you know, that's the reason why when people start doing this, all of a sudden, all their arthritis and their aches and their pains and their joints start feeling better, even when they say, oh, but I've got bone on bone. Oh, I've had arthritis for years. I had it in my 20s. Like, what happens now? That all of a sudden, the fiber is connected to all the stuff people blame on old age, like joint pain and aches. Anybody feel a little bit of aches and pains and stuff going on? Maybe in your fingers, maybe in your knees, maybe in your hips, maybe in your back. You're just not as loose as you used to be. That is a result of fiber. Is that what you're telling me, Vince?
And you can only get it. That's exactly what I'm telling you. And you can only get that fiber in unprocessed plant-based foods. And 97% of Americans are deficient in that fiber. And so constipation is the main thing, but just a whole host.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my gosh. So back to constipation, right? So there's all these people with hemorrhoids, right? And they're getting all these creams and rubs and salves, and they're sticking their hand in places trying to get it to be better, right? And you're telling me that this is just a lack of fiber? Is that good? Because they're having the pressure. Wait a minute. And then there's like colitis, ulcerative colitis, and there's things like diverticulitis. Right? So you're telling me all these things are a symptom of a long period of time without adequate intake of real fiber. Is that what you're telling me, Vince?
And it is the lowest cost solution and the best. How many times in life do you have where literally the best solution is also the lowest cost solution? Oh, you can go try to find pills and powders and creams and ointments, and it doesn't do as good of a job as just go to the produce section and do your grocery shopping from produce. Or you can add some beans to that. You can add some rice to that. You can add some oatmeal to that. Those packages that when you look on the back and you know what the ingredients are, that's where your fiber is. And fiber is the ingredient that the food manufacturers have to remove to make it shelf stable. So the packaged stuff, listen, if that's all you got, well, then that's one thing. But most of us have access to fruits. Most of us have access to various vegetables. Most of us have access to rolled oats or steel cut oats or brown rice or lentils or split peas or chickpeas or peaches and plums when they're in season, watermelon and mango when it's in season. because those are my favorite when they're in season. Watermelon's out of season now. Mango's out of season now. I hate it because I like eating that every day. But now I have to just eat other fruits and vegetables that are in season. But that's where your fiber is.
Let me pop in here and tie this in a bow for us. You know, one of the most valuable things that Vince and I provide our clients with is a choice about cost. And I'm gonna tie this up in this because this is what happens to people. Like when people sell them supplements and stuff, they say, "Oh, okay, well I can have all the benefits without the cost." And so, and they'll pay. What I mean by cost, I'm saying the cost of actually having to substitute what they're currently eating with whole food plant-based things. So what we help people understand, and I want you guys to take this away today, you guys and gals, I want you to think about this for a second. Think about every single time you decide to get that big porterhouse steak, you decide to get all that bacon wrapped filet mignon. You start thinking about that fried chicken. You start thinking about all that. Ooh, I want some extra cheese. Because remember, all those things have butter on my bacon. All those things, you're adding things that have absolutely zero fiber, zero, not a little bit, zero. Okay, zero. Okay. And since your body is designed for whole food plant-based, then what happens is you're immediately deficient because almost the only way to get adequate fiber, almost, is to eat purely whole food plant-based. So here's the deal. What you're actually, and the results of, we didn't even go into high cholesterol, like extra fiber in your gut is one of the reasons why, if they don't have extra fiber in their gut, it's the reason why they have high cholesterol. Because it's not removing the excess cholesterol from their, it's a whole nother story for another day. We could go into heart disease. We could go into depression. We could go into people not feeling motivated. Like we could, we could just go and go and go, and it's all connected to fiber. But here's the deal. Like when we first launched our program, we almost called it Fiber Fire because the solution is found in fiber at the most simplest ways. But here's the deal. I want you guys to think about things. And I don't want you to, because it doesn't matter to me if you do or not. You want to. You want to, next time you sit down at a restaurant, next time you go through the grocery store, you want to say, what price am I going to pay? Because if you choose the less fiber, the no fiber, you're going to say, I'd rather pay with pain. I'd rather pay with hemorrhoids. I'd rather pay with constipation. I'd rather pay with high cholesterol. I'd rather pay with a higher risk of killing over with a heart attack. Just because I want this little temporary pleasure of chewing on a piece of flesh. Is chewing on a piece of flesh really so valuable that you're willing to get a knee replacement surgery? To have that, to spend $125,000 for a heart surgery? I don't know. And I'm not saying that if you eat one apple, you're not going to have heart surgery. All I'm saying is that we know studies seem to indicate very adequately that fiber, a high fiber diet, is absolutely essential for your vehicle, your body, to operating at its most proficient state. Vince Rountree, close this out, or whatever else you might have to say.
You know, and before I close this out, there's one thing that I forgot to mention, and that is colorectal cancer. We didn't mention colorectal cancer. Wakanda Forever is out. Chadwick Boseman, who died of colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer is straight up a cancer of lack of fiber. It's lack of fiber. And there are many illnesses, as Rawlin mentioned, that are caused by a lack of fiber, but that's just one that stood out to me because of Chadwick Boseman.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Who died of colorectal cancer. All right, so the solution is simple. Eat some apples. How simple is that? Just eat more apples. Eat more peaches and plums and pears. How simple is that? Don't forget your berries, your strawberries, your blueberries, your blackberries, your raspberries. How simple is that? You know, if they were to put on the package all of the nutrients in it, the package is not large enough to put all of the nutrients that's in strawberries. You literally can't do it. Why? There's thousands of polyphenols in there. There's not enough space. So, but there's also very little profit in it. So you don't see commercials for broccoli. You don't see commercials for apples or oranges, not many, if any. But where do you see commercials for? Pills. You see commercials for pharmaceuticals because they're very profitable, because they are a multi-billion-dollar business.
And very shelf stable, very shelf stable.
Very shelf stable. And what a business model. Take this pill every day for the rest of your life or you're going to die. How's that for a business model? Take this pill every day for the rest of your life or you're going to die. I have a better solution. Eat vegetables, eat fruit, eat beans, eat potatoes. Listen to Rawlin, let him teach you how to make it taste good. Then you probably won't need any pills if you eat that way, because so many things are caused by the food. All right, I got 32 minutes after the hour. And so let me close by saying this. I want you to look at yourself. You know, if you look at yourself in the mirror, if you can see yourself on the screen, if you can touch your face, that's your body. This is the one body that you have. You got one head, you got one torso. You've only got one body in this lifetime. If you don't take care of it, where are you going to live? You've only got one body in this lifetime, so eat as though your life depends on it, because it does. My name is Vince Rountree. My co-host is Rawlin Vanatta. We together bring you the Health, Wellness, Vitality Show on every Tuesday morning on the Daily Huddle, and tune in to the Daily Huddle each and every morning at 9 o'clock during the week, and you are guaranteed to get some information that can help you to live a healthier and better and higher quality of life. Thank you so much for tuning in to us this morning. Have a fantastic day.
Great session.
Thank you, my brothers. Thank you so much.